We will say that in the reality in which you find yourself today, that there is much going on and in play. And when you are out and about and moving throughout this life, that you recognize that each choice that does appear is an opportunity to explore. And we want you to consider what this one before you has been doing, and that you might be able to do something in the same proximity or framework. And that is to move about in an insightful way, looking at each thing that crosses your path with the quizzical wonderment of the child. And if there is a reason that this or that has entered your frame of awareness, that you look at it in a slightly different way than you would when you are trapped in the mind, when you are trapped in a mental objective to accomplish this, that, or the other. And so we want you to understand that when you can move in the way that you look more in the quizzical aspect of life, then you will discover things, especially when you have established your practice each morning from the heart space. Because now you are acting and energizing and operating at a level that is in alignment with the heart as opposed to in alignment with the mental space. And so you will have different opportunities, do you see, when you originate from here as opposed to other locations and other dealings, because the mentalness will put you on a different trajectory than were you to operate from that heart-centered awareness and loving understanding space. And so as you move about in the day, we would recommend that you then engage in a way that looks at each thing with a question mark and ask internally and in a mysterious sort of way what this or that has come to show you. And it may take a little bit of training, because oftentimes when you move about and you are on your journey to accomplish this or that from the mentalness that you exist, when you have the listing of the objectives, when you can look at it from a different slant or a different perspective and be in that present moment awareness, be in that space where you are consciously aware of what is in play and underway, then the day will flow differently, do you see? Then the day will be in the wonderment that it is. Then the day will progress because you are asking questions and looking and engaging consciously each moment of each day, as opposed to moving mentally and not seeing the gifts that are right before your eyes, right perhaps even under your nose. And so look at life this way. And then we will always say to move into your purpose. Move into that which is greater than perhaps you may understand it to be this day. And of course, the purpose is an energy, and it is the overarching energy of that which you set up to understand, or might we say your soul set up to understand once upon a time. And so if you will always move back to enact your original purpose, know that it is the key component that you must embrace, whether for a day, a week, or an hour, or longer, so that you can get about why you chose to have this life experience. For this life experience is never and not meant to be a permanent one. If it were meant to be permanent, you would not have the body vessel, which over time does need restoration. You would have a different means of having a body than the one in which you now reside. And so recognize that it was never meant to be a permanent sort of arrangement. It was always meant to be temporary in its form and structure. And so know that as you shift and as you move, that you are meant to discover that thing that brings a light to your eyes, that lights you up, that moves you in a way that is unparalleled and unattainable if you do so by connecting mentally and looking for this thing that way. For you will never connect through the mind. The mind seeks to navigate, have its objectives, and move you in a way that quite honestly moves you away from your purpose. For it does not understand spirituality. It does not understand those objectives, and it will seek to maximize your time in a very physical way. And what we are suggesting is that you redirect the mind, that you move the mind off and away from center, move it as we suggest and have suggested onto a conveyor belt adjacent to that mental space, and see that conveyor belt move off and away as a pin dot in the distance, knowing that it is connected but unnecessary at this point in time. And then you can elicit your questions. Then you can elicit to get a response and an understanding of what you perhaps need to understand in a more significant way. For we will say that this is the reason that you are here. This is the reason that you have chosen this life experience. This is the reason for all that you have encountered in this space of time. And we do not want you to lose sight of the fact that this is the allness of being. This is the allness of the enterprise of this life experience. This is why you are as you are, for each thing has moved you to this particular place and this space and time. And so each thing in your past is a gift, for it has led you to where you reside today. And isn't that a marvelous thing? And so we look to address and answer questions. We look to discuss any questions related to addiction, energy leeches, self-healing, and purpose. For each of these is most important. Each of these is necessary to move you from this to that and the other, and into the space where your purpose is the most meaningful and majestic and marvelous thing, for it will break the rounds of the tethering component that keep you into the rounds of incarnation and tethered to this earth space. For we suggest that you came from another space, and in time you will want to move from here to there once again.